Episode 1 of Kitchen Couch. It's in the books.
Yeah,
I hope we're
episode
recording.
1.
Are we recording? Maybe. I don't know. I know we're live. Let me reach out to the folks and make sure they know that we're live on Twitch right now. Episode 1 is live on Twitch at Kitchen Couch Entertainment. I like that.
It's a jingle that sticks in your head.
Anything that can stick in your head, probably a good idea here. So, Aaron, let's just begin. Let's begin with the obvious.
Okay.
I'm wearing a hat.
You are wearing a hat.
Correct. I'm wearing a hat. I do have hair.
No.
I don't want to fuck with it. So I'm a hat person. Been a hat
Was
person
that an
now.
Atlanta hat?
It is. It's a Braves hat. I like the old classic cursive A situation.
Yeah.
Actually, Aaron, I got to do it because you're backward.
I got the old uppercase A. What are you doing? You gonna flip me?
I got to. Oh
Yeah,
God.
okay.
Oh boy. Well, I'm afraid that the time in the background is fucked up now. We got to flip you back. We got to.
Yeah.
It's 9:05. Dope. Okay. Oh, we got a watcher. Oh, we're both watching. Awesome. Yeah. So what we can do now that we're on Twitch is we have a private chat with how should I guess I can say, Aaron, you look normal. But yeah. The outfits consist of green and black today. Apparently, you got the news, green and black. So we're gonna just do that thing as well, and do that. Anyway, I do want to talk about this big piece of news and then move on to other things and learn more about Aaron effing Putnam.
Okay, big piece of news.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston and Barack Obama. So I'm going to give you what I know.
Thing in the news right now?
And Obama rumors. Yeah. So I'm going to give you what I know.
Okay.
And what I know is they're just rumors. Okay. They're just rumors. Big bullet points is that in October, Jennifer Aniston, she rejected the gossip on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Right.
Okay.
But then it started swirling again. And then Michelle Obama has suddenly never been anywhere at the same time that Barack Obama has been.
Right.
Currently.
She didn't come to the inauguration. Most people just assumed that was because of, Trump.
Trump probably was like, buddy, we ain't got a seat for your wife. She can't bring her massive biceps in here. I don't like to be shown up. So, no, yeah, Michelle is jacked. Let's not get weird about it. She's a fit lady, and we love it. Sure. We love it. Yeah. You talk about the greatness of their marriage and all this other stuff, but what are your thoughts on Obama's and Jennifer Aniston? I want to hear it from the number one mountain man source here. What do you think?
I mean, if it's Jennifer Aniston, I think Michelle can give Barack a weekend pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like anyone else,
okay.
like an intern, no way. But it's Jennifer Aniston, so come on, Michelle.
Michelle. You think Jennifer Aniston is a hall pass person for Barry?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Jennifer Aniston's a hall pass person for anyone, but
it's a fact. I'll tell you.
And hall passes can be reciprocated, I mean, if Michelle goes off and spends a weekend with, I don't know, Ryan Gosling, I'm sure Barack won't have nothing to say about it. So
dude, she would ruin Ryan Gosling's life. She would take 5 minutes off of Ryan Gosling's life, I think, if she, oh my God, she bust his ass. He's not ready for that.
He could take her.
I don't think he could. No, fucking Ryan Gosling?
I don't
know. No, not Ryan Gosling. I'm thinking more for Michelle. I think she's more into like the more, like husky, like muscle dudes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking for her, you got to go with someone like young Russell Crowe.
A young Russell Crowe.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. Or someone who talks like this, when they act, for some reason, they're always whispering and no one knows why, even though the person they're talking to is like 15, 20 feet from them. They're like, "Hi, Michelle. I think you're the most pretty person that I've ever seen. Would you like to see my muscles?" You know, like Game of Thrones or something. I think that's who she's into.
Right on.
Or so like Bane from Batman.
I gotta ask, what are these sources? Like, where are we hearing this from? Because I have not heard this at all until you brought it up.
It's an interesting question. Good. I got it from TikTok, which is currently banned. So, and then I Googled it, and there's just a bunch of like, D and F and Z list articles about JA and Barry. And when Barry and I play basketball on Tuesdays, because he plays up the street from me, yeah, dude's got a sick shooter. That guy drains shots all day. Nothing but net. I mean, he runs the floor too, like plays great defense. He's wet from beyond the arc though. That man can shoot. Yeah, Barry's the man. He never mentioned her, so I haven't been back to the court in a couple of weeks, hurt my ankle. So I'll have to ask him when I see him.
And he tells you everything, right? So
no,
he didn't mention her.
No. I did figure out about the base underneath Arlington National Cemetery from him. That was wild. That was a wild moment. Yeah. He said Joint Chief of Staffs love their little office down there. But no, really, we just talk about basketball. And like this peculiar thing about people that are left-handed and how weird it is that people are left-handed. It's so weird to me. Like, watch a left-handed person do anything. It's like,
it is strange. I agree.
What are you doing? Like, you ever seen someone throw a football left-handed? We're gonna get to that.
Just but you ever seen someone sip of my Coca-Cola?
Every time I see someone throw a football left-handed, it's like, you're obviously right-handed. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Now we're on Twitch. We can curse. We can drink booze. Speaking of booze, what are we drinking?
I am drinking Australia Jalisco.
What's the percentage? What does it taste like? What are we doing here?
It's like Corona, just better.
Whoa, chill out with that. Chill out with your Corona dislike, your Corona shade. No need to shade Corona. I'll be honest with you. Corona is my favorite beer to have citrus in, and I'm not a big citrus in my beer kind of person.
That's good. No. It's a Latin beer, light and crisp. Need a little orange slice or a lime. Yeah.
From Australia? A Latin beer from this. You said it's Latin beer or Corona?
Corona.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. Come on, man. Can't keep up with you. You and your Two-Face thing going on here. It's pretty fun.
Latin beer. Why?
I know it didn't make sense to me either. Think about.
Is not Latin.
Man, Australia. These days,
the double L's are pronounced as ya. Yeah.
These days we don't know what's Latin and what's not Latin. Anything could be anything. It's crazy. Yeah, quantum mechanics, right? Fascinating. Like anything can happen when you're not looking at it.
Yeah, you understand quantum mechanics?
Absolutely. Me and Barry talk about that too.
Oh.
Yeah. He's the one who introduced me to the experiment where they shot light particles through the gaps. And then while you're like witnessing it, the light particles do one thing. And while you're not witnessing it, the light particles do something completely different. And so it's wild. That's it. That's maybe the most. I
think I saw that on Kimmel too.
That's the most broken. No, you didn't. ABC does not believe in that. No shade, ABC, but that's Mickey Mouse as shit. That's probably the thing that breaks my brain the most. That one item in this universe that I know about is that thing. That if you observe it, it does something different than when you don't observe it.
Sure.
That gets me every time. What's something that gets you every time? You're just like, wow, that's wild. And I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
I always think about how starfish, when they get cut in half, they grow into two separate starfish.
Whoa, is that real?
That is real. That is real. Like, I think it was like in the 70s or something, they were having a starfish infestation in like the Pacific or something. And so anytime fishermen would get some or catch some, they would cut it in half and toss it back in, thinking that they were killing it. But what they were really doing was they were just duplicating it. They were making the problem worse. Because a cut in half starfish would just grow another half and become two starfish.
What a plot twist. what an absolute plot twist. that's a bad day at work. If you work it for hours, it's like, oh man, you made it twice as bad.
I think about that a lot. I don't know why. It just seems to randomly pop into my head every day or so.
Boy, I'm never going to stop thinking about that group of workers that just couldn't, they couldn't do their job because they tried to kill 10 starfish and created 20 out of the habit. Jesus, what a bad day at work, man.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. God. Starfish. Another one that I think about often is interstellar drift and how they calculate light years between planets.
Yeah,
and like when they're like time is relative, which means time doesn't mean anything. They literally are like, yeah, time actually doesn't mean anything. Time's relative. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Time is relative to the speed of one object versus another.
Right. And speed's also calculated by two or three theoretical things. So like all of it doesn't. It's all of it is just. It's like, all right, cool. I do enjoy one thing that pops in my head all the time is truth and fact. When people use fact when they really mean truth, that gets into my head a lot. That's
right. Truth is not synonymous with fact because truth is a perspective.
Correct. It's independent to the person or persons who are witnessing or speaking it.
Did you ever see Rashomon, the film Rashomon by Akira Kurosawa?
No.
It's a great movie. It's considered one of the greatest movies ever made. It was filmed in, I think, the 50s. But it's basically the story of a murder and then a subsequent court case in which a thief, I guess like a princess or a royalty woman, the wife of a samurai, and then the ghost of said samurai all have differing truths of the same incident. None of them are wrong, but it just goes to show the kind of the relative nature of truth. Like everyone spoke the truth based upon their perspective. And it's a very interesting movie called Rashomon. Akira Kurosawa, same guy who did Seven Samurai. Great movie.
Classic.
Great movie.
There's a movie I saw that came out recently that had a similar plot, but it was about, unfortunately, the R word. It was about rape. But essentially, there are two knights, and then there's a damsel, and the two knights are friends, and they fight each other. Yeah, and they have to like speak their truth.
Ridley Scott. Yeah. Well, that was less about the relative difference of truth and more about one knight's ability to gaslight and lie.
Oh, okay.
And ultimately the fight was less about the woman and more about his pride, less about his wife and more about his pride.
Okay.
As the end would show you as they march away after he kills the guy. Yeah, it's Matt Damon and Adam Driver. I know you're talking. What's that called?
I don't know. I thought it was going to be a cool action movie, and I got sucked in really hard, really fast because there's a cool action sequence at the beginning, and I was hooked, and then I got beat.
Yeah,
I got beat. What is that called? We can ask the Googs. Matt Damon. Should I just call my thing? movie.
It was a Ridley
and
Scott movie.
Adam Driver.
I saw it once, and once I
The
saw it,
last duel.
The Last Duel. That's it. Yeah. You know, I love Ridley Scott, but
Yeah, we all do.
I saw that movie once, and then was like,
Oh,
"Well, I saw that."
William said it's
I don't need to see
Elysium.
it again. Elysium.
It's not
Close,
Elysium. It's The Last
but
Duel.
Elysium's a crazy movie. I didn't quite care for it at first, but I saw it again, and like, you remember when Charlton Copley, I think is how you say his name, he gets his face blown off,
No, I've never
but he's
seen
still
Elysium.
alive. Oh, you've never seen it, dude? The guy gets his face blown off, but he doesn't die, right? And he's just
Okay.
like, they've got him on the ship, and he's just like coward and shaking, and he has no face, like he can't talk or see. And then they put him in a med chamber once they get up to the space station, and they like grow his face back. But he's like endured so much trauma from the event that he just goes crazy. It's a crazy. You would love it. I can't believe you've not seen Elysium.
Elysium. The only thing I know about Elysium is that initially they cast Eminem to play the lead.
Really?
And then and they recast him. They recast him Matt Damon.
Okay.
But and then also maybe
Eminem.
this is it. I mean, I think it came out right after 8 Mile. And maybe Eminem's incredible in 8 Mile. I know it's his story, but he's also really good in it. The Elysium was maybe initially the Halo vehicle.
Oh no, no. So it wasn't Elysium. Elysium was the second movie. It was District
9.
District 9.
Fantastic.
That was a good movie. I think I saw that in the theater with you and your brothers and your dad.
Yeah, District 9, fantastic.
That was one of those that was like a breakout favorite. Like, I didn't have any expectation of what it was going in.
It might be.
And I just like it might be. I just loved it. It floored me.
Oh, what was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was me.
It might be my favorite underrated movie of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good underdog movie. I mean, it came out of nowhere because, I mean, it was supposed to be this giant. They had this giant budget and all these resources to go into the Halo movie. I don't know what happened. I guess pre-production hell, and it got shelved.
Yeah.
And then Peter Jackson was the Neil Blomkamp. He was just like, well, we got the resources to make a movie. What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's do Apartheid, but with aliens.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in. No, it's well directed. It's well acted. Even though I think the graphics still hold up. Which is incredible because like a movie like Deadpool, a movie that Deadpool that came out, I guess 12 years ago, its graphics are awful. And it was directed by a graphic studio, apparently.
The first one, I mean, it's forgivable. It's a good enough movie. You can forgive the graphics. I forgive, honestly, the most horrendous graphics if the storytelling's good.
Well, it's tough to compare it to, it's tough to compare it to like 1983's Star Wars battle that still holds up even in high def. And it's like, how did you people, how did you do this? And they did it with little models, and they did
pioneers, man. They were pioneers.
Like there's still nothing competes to that. Nothing competes to that space battle. It had drama, suspense, it had choreography. It had like solid choreography. It's incredible.
Yeah, it had something that few space battles have had since. I love that space battle because it had a through line. It had characters that you follow. It had stakes. Yeah. And these days, space battles are just treated like montages. It's montage. We're not following anything specific. Like I hate the space battle in Revenge of the Sith. It was almost awesome. The opening of Revenge of the Sith?
It is almost awesome.
It was almost awesome. We almost got there, but then those stupid little buzz droids. Yes. I hate the buzz droids. We spend the entirety of that awesome space battle watching those buzz droids, and I despise it. It's so dumb.
That is quintessentially the answer to, we don't want to spend a ton of money on a space battle here, so we're going to add this stupid.
They already were.
That's what I'm saying.
It was all around them.
That's what I'm saying.
They spent the money and then they just wasted it.
But they didn't do something that I wish they had done, which they do in Babylon 5, which is hilarious. But you're flying straight. Why they didn't just turn the ships around in the same with the same amount of thrust and shoot the ships and then turn back forward? I'll never figure that out in my life. But that would have been so cool if Anakin had just been like, nah, we ain't playing this game. Just whoop, it turned back around and kept going. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. There's a lot about Revenge of the Sith that's like, man, this is almost really cool. The only part about Revenge of the Sith
about the entire prequel series, almost cool, not quite there.
The lava fight scene is really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It was honestly really good. I hate this. I got to admit this though. Like, as big a Star Wars fan as I am, I do remember sitting there on opening night and, like, when was it? 2004 or 5?
Yeah.
I just remember sitting, watching them fight, thinking, when is this going to be over?
Oh no.
I know. Yeah. Horrible. And then I did a double take. I was like, really, Aaron? Like, you waited how long to see this happen on screen, and now you're just ready to leave? I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. Because the dramatic point of that movie, the highest drama in that movie happens in Palpatine's office with Samuel L. Jackson. And so from then on, it's like, I mean, they just blew their load on that moment. And then from then on, the stakes are a little bit less. And you're just like, I'm kind of just want to. And then you get that scene that's kind of uncomfortable between Anakin and Padme, where he's choking her out. And you're just like, oh, this is not for me. I don't know about this. Yeah. And then let her go, Obi-Wan. Anakin, let her go. And you're just like, oh, that's not very heroic. Damn it. This needed to be a heroic moment. This needed to be like a full-on, really cool heroic moment, and they missed the boat hard.
Yeah, but, there was so many moments in there where it was just the movie just devolved to talking heads.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
It was like they were on a green screen. They're not going to do a big action set piece. Just talking heads, talking people.
Yeah.
And every scene starts. It's almost like every scene starts with the people in the scene had no purpose being there until the scene started. Like, there's so many scenes in Palpatine's office where we cut in and we just see him and Anakin standing there just still, emotionless, and then the scene starts. Like, so many moments where we cut in and we see that, and it's just like, did these people not exist when the camera's not around? Like,
for sure.
And I don't know, like,
yeah, weren't they doing something?
Well, like, I think it just got lazy. I think it's just.
Well, okay. So when Obi-Wan attacks the droids on, I can't remember the name of the planet. What's the name of the planet that he attacks the droids on? Anyways, he attacks General Grievous. He rides that creature, and he's like, that's really annoying. He rides the vocally annoying. He rides a creature, and he's or whatever, and he just lands in between all the droids, and he's like, hello there. And you're just like, yeah, okay, I'm in. This is so cool. Fucking kill them all, Obi-Wan. Let's see what happens. That part's really cool. That part may be my favorite part of the movie, actually, is those moments. What I do,
that was a good moment.
That's I mean, and you and I have talked about this a number of times. Where they failed in Star Wars was not making Obi-Wan the protagonist from episode 1 to 3 through 3, and just letting Ewan McGregor be the hero who failed. We got another. Anakin was supposed to be the Senate's representative to the Jedi Council. They should have been going over reports or something. Yeah, they should have had.
That's
Anakin.
why they look so dull. They've just been going over reports all day, and it just
That's what they're like. Anakin, give us a report. It's like, okay,
just standing there doing nothing until the scene starts.
That's so funny, dude. Anakin's the worst. No, they should have made Obi-Wan the main character. I mean, he tells you the plot to episode 1, 2, or 3 in the first 8 minutes he's on screen in episode 4. It's like, just let him be the main character from the beginning. Let him land on Naboo as a 20-year-old, newly crowned high proficiency Jedi who's doing stuff, and they're sending him on B and C list missions, and this is a C list mission that turns into an A list mission, and he becomes famous. And let him be, let him be the main character. That would have been so much. Then you would have the character journey that doesn't happen in a lot of like Shakespeare or Western storytelling, which is like the genius. It's a rivalry between a genius and a prodigy, right? So like both are incredible, but they're incredible for different reasons. That would have made it awesome. And you could have still had those little kid things and those goofy animal sounds and Jar Jar sounding like a dumbass, and you could have had all of it. Like, I don't mind that Jar Jar sounds like an asshole, and I'm glad he speaks. I'm glad he spoke common. Oh, I'm glad he spoke common. I'm glad he spoke common too. Do we have a fifth? We have a fifth. It's you and me and 3 other people. No, I'm glad he spoke common too.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. I'm glad he spoke common too. And we joke about the obvious racism, the Chinese Trade Federation people with the squinty eyes and the
right.
And the Gungans being like Louisiana, just unfortunate people, and I'm a Trinidadian. It's like, okay, we get it. Those could have had different, subtitles and whatever. And Anakin could have been older, but I think my biggest gripe with those movies is essentially make Obi-Wan the main character. Just make him the protagonist.
He got his time. He got his show afterwards.
The show's crazy. I love the show.
I love the show. It's fantastic. It's so good.
It's really, and it's thoughtful. Good. It's thoughtful.
It has more emotional weight than the entirety of the prequel series. Like,
yeah,
it shows more emotional depth, I think, especially in the moments. I love the moment. I think it's the end of like the second episode when is it Reva, the sister, the third, I forget which sister she is, but when she tells him that Anakin's alive.
Yeah.
That moment of horror that he has. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just such a good, like, you just see the burden of what happened in the prequels just come crashing down on top of him. It's just such a good moment.
It's a great moment. It's a great moment too. It's a great series too, because it kind of solidifies Obi-Wan's maturation from being this general thing, an absolute weapon, to being basically nothing. But he's like, he kind of matured. I mean, he matured even further, than he was, which kind of shrinks the hubris and makes him into the old man you kind of meet, which I love, because Obi-Wan's hubris in episode 1, 2, and 3 is one of my favorite parts. It's actually, it makes a story for me that he's so confident all the time, that he is he's got this air of invulnerability all the time. He knows in every scene he's better than everyone else, and it's really cool, but he doesn't tell anybody, but you can tell. It's kind of like that same humor that Thor has whenever he's in the Marvel series, because Thor's like, no, I'm like the best fighter in the room every time I enter a room. I'm the fucking man. But Obi-Wan just doesn't have to tell you. But when you get to the series, right, you get Obi-Wan, and he's essentially a slave. I mean, is he not?
He's lost a lot. I mean, he's lost a lot of his confidence. All of it, honestly. I mean, he blames himself for everything that happened. Which is why it's so difficult for him to pick himself up out of that when Leia gets in trouble and he has to go help her. I mean, it's just a fantastic comeback. Oh, Cole.
Oh yeah, best part of Kenobi show is that they showed the Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru were badass country folk.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Who did we air?
They fought against a lightsaber, man. Like who'd have thunk it?
Who did we say Uncle Owen was supposed to be? He's crazy. He's Uncle. Oh yeah, Red Foreman. If Red Foreman played Uncle Owen, it would have been the bear. He's like, do that one more time. I'm gonna stick my foot up your ass. Like just a full on. That would have been so funny.
Hang on, Baru. I'm coming to get you.
Baru's kitty getting drunk on blue milk at the time. I would have loved it.
But yeah, no, they totally gave Owen and Baru an action sequence, which I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, and they brought him back from episode 3, which I also thought was cool. That's a cool moment.
Oh yeah. They had a better role in Obi-Wan than they did in the prequels.
They have a great role.
I love how they're bringing so many people back. Like TV's Jimmy Smits. Why
do we do that? I do it too. Why do we do that? I do it too. I do it. I was like, oh yeah, TV's Jimmy Smits. Like, what are we doing?
I forget the actress's name, but the younger woman who plays Mon Mothma.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She came back in Rogue One, and then now she's in Andor and Ahsoka. Like the fact that they're using these actors still is great, because it's like a great opportunity, because like they have all these people now, they're still within the same age range, where they don't because like you look at like Luke, Leia, and Han, they had how long? 30 years to do sequels with them,
right?
And then they waited until they were all ancient to do them, And hell yeah, Andor season 2. I am stoked. That's probably the best Star Wars.
Yeah,
it is. It's so like it. Honestly, it almost stumps the originals as far as like the skill of the writing in it. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
Other than the lead actress being flat, keep that thought. Rogue One is incredible.
No,
other than she's flat.
Like, what's her name? Oh,
she's just a little flat.
It's okay. Thought she was
Felicity Jones? No, Felicity.
I don't remember.
Well, we have
I thought she was good. I thought she was really good.
She's just a little bit. Yeah, Felicity Jones. Yeah, she's just a little flat. That's it. And by that I mean like every other moment of the movie I love. I love actually every other moment. Like
I think Rogue One's a masterpiece. Andor is a masterpiece. Like Disney is, everyone likes to hate on Disney. And not everything they do is great.
No.
But they do more good than they have done bad. I honestly didn't mind The Acolyte so much. It wasn't anything to write home about.
Wait, did I watch The Acolyte? What's that about?
You should. It's fun. It's good. I think it totally deserved a second season. I hate the fact that it's, it got canceled. Okay. It's set like 150 or like 200 years or something before the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of good lightsaber action in it. Lots of good storytelling. I mean, like I said, it wasn't anything crazy good, crazy groundbreaking, but it didn't deserve what it got.
I remember it being forgettable. Now that I re-remembered what it was, I remember it being forgettable. It's just
one of the big fan revolts of that show was that the showrunner was very much, I forget her name, but she
Oh,
was very much like pro dark side. Like the dark side is cool, and it's like, you're kind of missing your audience, aren't you? Like you're not really understanding your core demographic here.
yeah. Who's the showrunner for Acolyte? We need a cowl in here being our producer, so he can just tell us. Showrunner. It was.
Yes, Cowl. I believe I agree with you on the Luke thing. We do need to see more post Return of the Jedi Luke, and that would be fantastic. Like Sebastian Stan does look like him a lot.
It's kind of crazy how close they look alike.
Yeah, it really is. You put that wig on him, and he's just like he is Mark Hamill. It's crazy.
It's Leslie Headland is the
yeah, that's
showrunner
right.
for.
That's right.
So, I've got two pieces of thought here. Having a post Jedi Luke Skywalker, even if it was animated, I'd want it to be live action. But even if it was animated, and in a post Return of the Jedi Darth Vader, where they're essentially doing the opposite things.
A post Return of the Jedi Darth Vader, like Force Ghost Anakin.
No. Post. I'm sorry, Revenge of the Sith. So you have.
Okay,
Anakin,
like Vader during the Purge.
You have absolute
demon
god demon level Darth Vader who was like pulling ships out of the sky with the Force and just crazy stuff. And then you've got Luke Skywalker going around and running into resistance, for lack of a better term, cells of the former empire. Just essentially doing the same thing but the opposite. And Luke's over here doing side quests, helping people, to try to get the reputation of the Jedi back, like it's a Final Fantasy game. And and people are like, oh, we can believe in the Jedi again, like that whole thing, while while we're also watching Darth Vader just terrorize people. I think it would enrich the world and the universe. But the problem I have with it is they don't want to do it. Disney does not want to do it. Although I did like Skeleton Crew. I want to see more.
I like Skeleton Crew a lot.
I like it a lot. I liked it a lot. I want to see more. What's it called? Ahsoka.
Icon characters. Oh,
I want to see Ahsoka. Like, keep going with Ahsoka.
They are.
I love her. I love the actress.
Yeah,
I love the way the story goes.
That whole show was fantastic.
I like how they took advantage of the storyline from Rebels. They took advantage of the storyline from Clone Wars. They're really they're tying that whole subplot of Star Wars together, and just keep that going. I even like Daisy Ridley. I like Daisy Ridley as her character a lot.
Yeah, she is good. Like
she's really good.
I think that when it comes to this whole toxic fandom thing, I think a lot of the fandom is really misunderstood on her. Like, the easy thing to say is, oh, they just don't like women leads. Daisy Ridley was not the problem.
No,
she was one of the reasons that those movies are even remotely watchable.
I'll tell you what, I think she also outperformed her directing, because I've seen her in other stuff.
Yeah.
And she's not as deep. And in this, there was actual depth.
Sure.
And you see times where actors aren't outperforming their directing, like Anakin Skywalker, or you could just see it on the screen. You're like, oh, okay. You don't get it. But she was outperforming the direction. You could see it, and it wasn't theatery. It wasn't spectacle. It wasn't stage work. It was like, oh, you get it. You get this. This is really cool. And they pour money into her, whatever. But she's not the problem.
No, she was not the problem. She was honestly, she was, like I said, she was what made those movies bearable.
Right.
It was everything else.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Yeah. And part of the thing I do like about Rogue One and or not to switch back, but that world feels so lived in. You know, that feels like my
Mhm.
outside right now. I could just walk outside and see that, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't be all that strange. And all the post quill 7, I don't know what you want to call it.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Oh,
Yeah. Quick exposition. No need to fuss. No need to get into it. Just, he's back.
hey,
He's back.
it's a story about space wizards and laser swords. Let's not
It
get
happens.
twisted. It
Hey,
happens.
I mean, I think if we learned any lesson over the last 2 weeks, sometimes they just return. Sometimes they
Yeah,
just come back.
yeah. Yeah, hey, listen, at least these unhomed people in Western North Carolina have a place to live that's not 12 degrees outside, intense in Western North Carolina. Okay.
Do they?
If-
Do they have a place now?
Yeah, so supposedly this is another Jennifer Aniston, Barack Obama story plot, maybe. But supposedly those people who were unhomed in the last 2 days or 3 days received apartments that they get to keep for a year until they can get back on their feet again. Actually,
Really?
really,
So there were just
really,
empty apartments sitting around with no one living in them that
Aaron, that's true for every
thousands
city in the
upon
country. That's true for every
true. Yeah,
city in the
okay.
country.
You are you are correct.
But no, I think that may, you know what, like that's grain of salt, right? Grain of salt. I don't live there. I don't work on the Hill. I don't know what's happening at the White House. But uh yeah, supposedly those unhomed people that were freezing to death actually in tents have a place to live now. So if that's the case,
Wow.
that's pretty
Well,
cool. Revenge of the Sith happening right in front of us. But hell,
that's
I mean,
interesting.
yeah. Suddenly, I can't. Oh, I can't wait for the JFK documents.
Yeah.
What hesitation? You have. It's the greatest mystery we have. Like that's it right there. I can't wait to see what happens. I hope it's nothing, but I hope it's also something crazy
I
too.
mean, what something crazy.
Oh yeah, it's something we would never know. Like you know, uh, uh, it wasn't, it wasn't what they
Wasn't
suspected.
Oswald
It wasn't Oswald. It was
in
really
the
like
textbook repository?
it was, yeah, it was like an Egyptian sniper cell or some random. I'm just using Egypt as a random. You know what I mean? Like it was Somalian pirates or something. I don't
Oh,
know. Like, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was, or it was like. What I really want to find out too is what happened to Marilyn Monroe. I think that one's kind of crazy too. So the rumor is that like, of course she OD'd on whatever. But the rumor is that they found something like 20 times as much uh paraphernalia, drug content in her system than what would have killed her. So she would have vomited it up.
overkill. Hmm.
Like she would have been ill if she had eaten that much stuff or ingested that much stuff. And it's like, so how did it get into her system and stay there? You know, it's like, did someone figure out that Marilyn Monroe knew too much? Maybe. I don't know. I'm such a skeptic about these sorts of things that it would just be cool to learn that, like, not cool, but I would appreciate, like, yeah, the FBI killed, Martin Luther King Jr. and they did it because they had been planning this whole thing about, you know, getting the poor folk of the United States on recreational drugs so that they could control them. And Martin Luther King Jr. was leading them out of that ideal. And that feels like it actually matches the history that we know currently with what oversight has happened with drugs
Yeah.
flowing into urban areas, which is horrible. Yeah, Star Wars.
It's hard to speculate on that, but yeah, I mean, basically anyone who is renowned for being a famous peacekeeper,
Yeah,
basically get
they all get killed. All of those people
yeah,
die. Gandhi got killed.
right.
Who's the guy from South Africa? He stopped apartheid. God damn
Nelson
it.
Mandela,
Yeah.
he
I
didn't
thought,
get killed.
are you
He
sure?
died. He died of old age. Well, I
Oh,
mean, maybe not of old age, but he was old. He didn't get killed. He was not as
oh,
he went to prison. He went to prison for a long time.
he's one of those butterfly effect people because I thought he had
was
died.
the Mandela effect.
Oh, that is
The
what it is.
Mandela
Yeah,
effect?
okay,
That's
that is
why
it.
they
Yeah,
call
yeah.
it the Mandela, because people could have sworn that they remember Nelson Mandela died in like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I
But he
legit
didn't.
thought it was like 2005.
And those are all people who had the Berenstain Bears and not the Berenstein Bears.
Oh, right. And if you go back and look at the Fruit of the Loom, it didn't have the cornucopia on it. Fruit of the Loom came out and said that it doesn't have a cornucopia, and we're all like, yes, it does.
Yeah, I'm
What are you
from the
talking about?
universe. I'm from the universe where they had the cornucopia.
Yeah, yeah.
You know the craziest theory, or the most interesting theory about that I've heard,
Let's hear it.
the Mandela effect, is that in 2012, and this kind of goes in line with all the 2012 end of the world theories, is that in 2012 at CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, in Switzerland or wherever,
Right.
they not only they had theorized about the Higgs boson, right? But they were finally able to observe one in a laboratory setting. They observed a particle, the Higgs boson, that previously had only been theorized about. And so, there's a thinking that when that happened, two mirror dimensions merged into one. And that's why we have the Mandela effect. That's why some people remember him dying in the 80s, and some people remember him dying in the 2010s.
So when was that? When did the God particle happen? Because I want to see if I remember things that you don't remember. July 4th, 2012. Damn.
July 4th.
July 4th, scientists announced the observation of the Higgs
America's
boson.
birthday.
Hilarious. I think if that's the case, though, that means like we got the Avengers.
We got the Avengers.
Yeah, the first Avengers came out in 2012 in like March or April of 2012. So our version of the Avengers, we got it. So I'm wondering if somebody else, if we like talk to a bunch of different people and maybe their Avengers is a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happened right before that happened. We should talk to them.
Like
Hey,
Tom Cruise was their Iron Man, and
no, it would be
Michael
something
J.
like
Fox was their Spider-Man.
it would be something like Hulk smashing Loki only so many times. You know what I mean? Or
Right. They ate kebabs instead of shawarma.
or yeah, or his eye patch was on the other side.
Cowell's got a good idea. I think Mandela effect should be an episode. I think he's right.
I agree.
I think we need to devote an entire episode to this.
To the Mandela effect.
We must explore
Let me write this down on my notes
mystery.
while I have
Handy dandy notepad.
Goofy computer sitting next to me. I'm actually going to write a note. Yeah, I mean, Mandela effect's awesome. That combined with the killing of that great ape.
Harambe?
Yeah. I think, it's funny to me, and not funny, funny, interesting, that Harambe is an infamous character in our current human history. Here's something I got for you, okay? And we may have never talked about this before. I have a theory.
Okay.
And it began when I discovered the kind of principles around the idea of the Uncanny Valley. And those, our viewers are, well, two of them are William. And so one is probably Hank. He's probably got Twitch up on somewhere. The Uncanny Valley is essentially when something humans make to be made to look like humans,
but
looks just a little bit off.
Human.
Right, looks a little bit off, and it looks like humans look at it and they're like, "Oh, that's weird."
The Uncanny Valley has evolved in us because we had to run from something that almost looked human. Probably Neanderthal, but
my theory is essentially that every other animal or species of plant or everything has another thing that's only slightly different than what it is. Every single one, maybe giraffes, maybe, but because I can't think of anything that looks like a giraffe, but maybe a camel. The human beings don't have anything that looks like a human being. There's nothing on the
Not
planet.
anymore.
That's what I'm saying. And so that's one of my big things is yeah, we killed those things for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Well,
For
that's
sure.
you remember. I mean, they were always looking for the missing link,
Yeah.
right? We can't find the missing link between Homo sapiens and or Homo erectus and Neanderthal, and it's probably because there isn't one because they were two different branches, and
Yeah, absolutely.
we went to war. In fact, I think that's probably actually like more the thinking these days because I think anthropologists have pretty much given up the search for the missing link because I think it's pretty clear now that if there was one, we'd have found it.
Well, that's debatable.
Sure, I
That's
mean, there's
debatable.
always
Well, like, but no, that's debatable because, like, the scientists will tell you that we've only actually done any sort of research on 2% of the Egyptian desert or or Cairo or ancient Egypt at all. And we've only discovered like 2% of what there is. So,
sure.
I mean, if that's the
Always a
case, plus
possibility. Yeah,
deep sea, plus Atlantis, plus a bunch of different stuff, intercontinental drift, destroying countries and destroying continents. My whole thing about that is simply like that might be the basis of hatred from at other people because they don't look like you, and you certainly are unsettled because they don't look like you.
sure.
That is
Well,
for sure a thing, and I
it's
don't understand.
tribalism,
Right, and I don't
straight
understand like
tribalism.
I don't understand like why that's like not acknowledged as just a thing. Um,
Well, it's it is ingrained in us. It's an evolution. It's an evolutionary learned genetic memory.
yeah, for sure,
We've
for
been
sure.
doing it for 600,000 years, probably longer.
Right.
And just because we've, invented the airplane and computers and fucking Facebook, like it doesn't mean that we're able to let that go.
No,
It took us 600,000 years to learn that. You think we lose it in 100 years of modern society? No.
no. William mentioned that the missing link got sent to Mars, and his name is John Carter. By the way, that movie sucks. Okay, fuck all of you people who think that movie is good. That movie is garbage. That movie should have gotten panned. That movie
That's
sucks.
Will. That's William. Okay.
Cowell and Founded Japan are
That's
both named William. Yes.
okay. I didn't know who that was.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's some random guys watching us. Okay. Our audience of one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they stumbled upon Kitchen Couch
You
Entertainment.
are recording this, right?
We're watching it live. So I
But
think we could just,
you are recording it.
I don't know. William, are we recording this? I know the Tigers. I think he means triggers. I don't know if we are recording this. I hope so. I hope we can pull it off Twitch. Maybe not though. That would suck.
My thing is doing its thing.
How do I know?
Focus.
I don't want to end stream. John Carter is better than Lord of the Rings.
Boo. Boo. No.
Yeah.
No. I have to wholeheartedly disagree with you there.
It might be better than the fucking Hobbit movies, but it's not better than Lord of the Rings.
I couldn't make it through John Carter.
Oh, it sucks.
He just ran around punching shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
You show up on Mars and the only thing you can do is punch shit. Like,
yeah, John Carter's terrible. Wait, Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. It's and it's such a masterpiece that I think it's one of the few examples that the book is better than the movies. I mean, sorry, the movies are better than the books.
Some would fight you, but I mean, it's a different format. It's a different medium.
Correct. And also it's one of the few times where the director's cuts are as good or better than the theatrical release.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that doesn't happen often.
That doesn't happen a lot.
But that happens almost never, actually.
I think the source material is the reason why the uncut versions of Lord of the Rings are better. Because I love Peter Jackson. One of my other favorite movies that he did was King Kong.
Okay.
I love King Kong, but that is one good example where the director's extended cut is not better
No,
than the
no.
first one. It's
I saw
not.
that with you. It was like 4.5
The
hours. It's awful.
the theatrical cut of King Kong is perfect.
Yeah.
The uncut director's edition it just kind of meanders, and it doesn't like it's just not as good. It just doesn't hit you like the first one. The theatrical cut hits you like a hammer,
It's pretty
especially
good.
with like the introduction of the monsters on Skull Island.
Peter
Like,
Peter Jackson's Kong is pretty good, and it's an homage to classic filmmaking, which I love.
oh yeah,
Um, but it's such an homage that it's kind of hard to watch for I like it, but for regular people, and I've talked to people about it. Like it's not like current or even of its time movie making. But
sure,
we haven't talked
sure.
about the greatest comedy of all time, and that's okay. I can't even be facetious about it because Waterboy is a thing. Um, and Waterboy is incredible, and Dodgeball is just out of this world funny.
Give me a second,
Um,
real quick.
all right, yeah, I want to figure out: are we recording? How do I make sure that we are recording? Because I don't think we are.
There we go.
We might not be recording. There's not a button on here that says you're recording. I don't think we're recording. But come on, Luke. Orientation? No. I don't want to edit. But yeah, listen. I think we're coming up on an hour now, Big A. We've been live for about. You have to have the settings turned on that saved that video. Well, there's no way for me to turn it on from here, is there? Settings. VOD in Twitch. VOD in Twitch. Okay, well we'll look in Twitch. I didn't mess around with Twitch much. I just kind of, gave it the thumbnail and whatever. But yeah, I think we'll talk about this. Tropic Thunder, greatest comedy of all time. I think it's number one for me. It comes from just my background in my movie and actress fandom that's out there. And so just like I think Talladega Nights is so funny just because I understand NASCAR. And a lot of people don't get NASCAR, so they don't think it's that funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two McClintock's up there. I think McClintock is endlessly funny. It just everything about that movie cracks me up, except for the whipping part when he whips her. I don't need to do that. But yeah, what do you think? I know you're a Tropic Thunder guy. We've already discussed this.
Oh yeah, Tropic Thunder is like I saw it like 3 times in the theaters. And I think, it wasn't real popular at first. Because I think it was just a bunch of movie set jokes and not a lot of people got that. Like everyone that I knew worked in the film industry at the time, they loved it because they
Right.
understood where it was coming from. Like they understood that it was a satire of Hollywood. And I think over time people have warmed up to it and just how just zany it is. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. in blackface will forever be probably the greatest satirical performance ever done.
Yeah.
Like next to
What's his face who wore a dress in the Marilyn Monroe movie?
oh right, with the
Something like it hot.
Jack Lemmon and James Garner.
Yeah. That's a phenomenal.
No, what I was
That's
thinking,
hilarious.
why am I losing this actor's name? Dr. Strangelove.
Oh yeah. Fucking I don't have it.
Terrible. My film professors heard me forgetting this guy's name. They would crucify me.
Nah, that you don't deserve that. Crucifixion's not great.
But yeah, I love Tropic Thunder.
It's so funny. I think
that's the
like,
theme song from the Jeffersons. Just because the theme
listen,
song don't mean it ain't true.
I think there's so many parts about that movie that are so funny that it would take me several minutes to explain to people why there are certain characters in there that are funny. Like the fact that Chuck Speedman is Tom Cruise and then Tom Cruise is in the movie. And
oh yeah. I get
yeah. And then Tom Cruise is playing Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so funny. The TiVo bit is unbelievable. It's
The TiVo.
now you tell them I got you TiVo. I mean, just so funny.
You don't need to explain to me why you need TiVo or water or air.
That's so funny. I mean, them making fun of Daniel Day-Lewis openly and no one knowing why that's funny.
Oh yeah, with
Robert Downey Jr., they're making fun of Daniel Day-Lewis. Either him or they're making fun of Russell Crowe. They're making fun of one of the two of them at all times with Robert Downey Jr.
This happened to me after Shadow of the Moon. They found me out back trying to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere in a cardboard box.
I mean, it's so good. It's so good. The guy who does he's a rapper. He's the rap guy, but he's gay.
Al Pacino. Booty sweat.
Booty sweat. The fact that they ran the 3 ads before the movie started.
God, I know. That was so good. That made it.
When you watch the DVD commentary of Tropic Thunder, the movie, Robert Downey Jr. in character still.
He said it. He said it. I was like, I don't break character to the DVD commentary.
I don't break character till the DVD commentary. Like, it's so good. And the story behind that where Jack Black's like, are you in character? Jack Black played Chris Farley a little too much. I could have gone without that. But he's still great.
Chris Farley and Eddie Murphy mashup.
He's still great. And then there's like the kid who plays this shit weasel and who happens to be the hero, and he's like, "Nah, I'm just an extra." Like,
yeah, Jay.
Oh God, that movie's so funny.
How to Train Your Dragon kid.
That movie's so funny. It's so well written.
We're not recording at all.
I think we are.
We are recording.
I don't know. I think we are. I was gonna wait till we ended the live stream to ask me for it to tell me, "Oh yeah, you recorded this," because I can't like tell it to record from here, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I know that it was live on Twitch. That's a fact. So I believe we're just gonna end it here and see how it went down. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you, William. Shout out from Japan. Shout out. Have a good day.
Awesome. Later.